You want to hear what the Fox says? Hello everybody, my name is Foxforge, and welcome back to Armello. Today we will be discussing the Wyld and the Rot and the path to victory. So we have two different versions of what would be considered as the Force for this game, if you get the Star Wars reference. But the Wyld is considered to be the good energy that surrounds Armello and gives a lot of heroes their powers and the ability to use their powers. Some heroes actually have a greater spirit level connected to the Wyld, while others don't, which means that some characters will be better at casting spells, such as these, while other characters will be better suited to the trickery. Now, as for the Wyld versus the Rot, the Wyld actually can combat and eliminate the Rot, and some characters actually hit a bonus against corrupted Rot characters, or infected Rot characters. However, between the Rot and the Wyld, there are advantages and disadvantages. For example, the Wyld's advantages are basically all round, while they do have some they do have some disadvantages to their side. For example, many of these cards require a spirit range. Now, some of them are indefinite, while some actually some of them actually have a actual spirit range on them. Let's see, like for example, the there is one here that is... Well, there is a spirit range dependent on the spirit of the character. The spirit of the character will determine how many tiles away that your character can reach the car. That your card's character can actually reach. Sorry, this is an epic fail so far. So, with the Rot, that's actually kind of different. The spirit range for some Rot cards will actually, such as this one, which will increase peril difficulties, is dependent on the character. However, other Rot cards, such as the Plague Bearers, if I can find that, yeah, these guys actually don't have a spirit range at all. They'll give you Rot, but they'll also take away the target's health and add Rot to that target as well. So the Rot's advantages for that is you don't really have to worry about your spirit range or how much magic you have to cast. You just have to worry about, you know, how much Rot are you going to have at the end of the game if you're going for the Rot corruption victory. The only disadvantage of the Rot that it gives you, especially, is after each battle, if you win, you gain 1 health if you lose any health at all. But every morning you lose 1 health. So after each night turn, you want to find a way to get yourself some extra health, which is very imperative if you're playing a very long game, or a multiplayer game for that matter. So it also can be added through follower cards, such as the Warlock. They can also add extra Rot to you, but sometimes they'll give you other bonuses. For example, the Warlock will actually let you go beyond your magical reserve. So if you only have 3 spirit, you'll get 3 magic. But if you have a card that has 5 magic, you'll lose 2 health, but you can cast the magical spell. So that's basically the differences between the Wyld and the Rot. So your different paths to victory are very simple. You have the Kingslayer victory, which is absolutely obvious. It's self-explanatory. Kill the king and you win. The other victory compared to that is, in fact, the prestige victory. Whereas if you have a certain amount of prestige throughout the game, if you defeat enemies, defeat Banes, or perform quests or other such actions throughout the Kingdom of Armello, have the most prestige by the end of the game, you win. Then the next victory is the Wyld or Spirit Stone victory, which is basically simple. If you have 4 Spirit Stones and you get into the palace and quell the king from Armello, you win the game. Whereas the Rot is identical to Kingslayer actually, but you just have to get your Rot corruption level higher than his, which can be very difficult if you hesitate at the beginning of the game. It'll be more difficult for you to get that kind of victory. If you just plow into the Rot line and get as much Rot as possible early on, and later on it'll be easier to defeat him and get the actual Rot victory. Thank you everybody for watching. My name is Foxforge, and we will see you next week. Bye bye.